So let's balance on our talus. So we talked about the hill-shaped or bump-shaped top of the talus. And when you stand up, when you walk, we'll look at that later, when you stand up, you can imagine now that the tibia is sliding on that hill. And there's many ways to look at posture. And when you talk about posture, we could talk about the alignment of the spine. We could talk about how the head's balanced on top. We could talk about how the ribs connect, how the shoulder girdle hangs. We could talk about the way the pelvis balances on the femur heads or the knee joint resting onto its surfaces. But right now, let's start with perhaps what is the root of our posture, at least our upright posture. And that's going to be at the talus, the top of that main arch of the foot. So shake your legs out, as I generally have people do, and let them fall where they fall. And shake your body out a bit. And imagine now that you can slide your tibia back and forth on the talus. And what you're going to do is you're going to look for that point of efficiency, that point where it's just right there. And if I needed to walk, I could just let the tibia slide forward on top of the talus. But to stand, I can just allow it to rest. Try that. So take your left hand, that can be the top of your left talus, and just go. I encourage you to make the sounds even, because that's my tibia resting on top. And I want to feel that weightedness, right? The connection, the clarity of it. That's what I'm seeking to feel in my ankle joint. And you might find that as you're doing it, you're beginning to relax your foot a little more. You might find different parts of your body want to move a little bit, kind of stretch different parts out, and relaxing and finding that place where all of a sudden I feel a little bit more present. So there's these subtle ways that I tend to hide. We all tend to do it. We'll kind of, we'll be the used car salesman or the aggressive Wall Street guys, which I see a lot, or we'll be this sort of timid, shy person who's falling back off their talus, right? Among other things. So look for that point where you're balanced just right on top, and see if you can allow everything else to just be. And then let that tibia slide forward into a step. Yeah? So come from balanced to letting the tibia glide forward over the hill. Most of us tend to be a little back in our posture, kind of stand on our heels. That's sort of a modern stance. If you look at a lot of the ancient Roman statues, Greek statues, you'll see that they have this sort of clarity to their posture, right? And it's not that they're necessarily overly forward, but they do have this thing that looks ancient to us. It doesn't look modern because we don't stand like that anymore. But I would say that most of them are actually balanced on their taluses much more. That was a cultural thing, right? So go ahead and try to balance, and then let your tibia drift back. And then do it again. And let your tibia drift back. And that's standing from the perspective of the ankle joint 101. If you enjoyed this video, Sign up for the Embody Space newsletter and share the link with a friend. You can also find original content on Facebook and Instagram.